Welcome to the Supercast. Today we're talking about the personal protective equipment that's being delivered to schools. We'll visit Copper Canyon Elementary. We'll also talk with Stacy Worthen about how parents and students can prepare for the coming school year and make course changes if necessary. I'm here at Copper Canyon Elementary with Principal Patty Bowen. We have our boom mic, and so we are doing our first in-person Supercast for a long time, but still distanced and still with masks. Patty, thank you for joining us on the Supercast.
Oh, you're welcome. We're excited to get these materials.
Yes, we're here with Patty and all the materials that she has received, the personal protective equipment that just arrived at the school here on display. So walk us through what you just received today, Patty.
Okay, well, we have face masks with the Jordan District logo on them, 2 per teacher. We're excited to distribute those. They are reusable, washable. They'll look very nice.
I have a mask, but can I try one of these on?
Yes. Let's see how
I think
you
I'm going to
look
have to
in
keep
that.
it once I try it on here. Let's try it. Oh, that's actually pretty comfortable. It's better than the one I had on.
We also have these cool infrared thermometers. I'm going to pull one out of the box here.
Yeah, let me grab one as well.
Yeah, those are going to be great. You just scan a child's forehead and don't have to touch them, and they don't have to touch anything, and we can see if they're running a temperature.
Let's see how I'm doing.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fired up. Oh, it came with batteries, so let's load some batteries in there. All right. I guess I'll take your temperature.
Oh dear, let's hope I'm well.
Let's see how she's doing. 97.2.
I don't get to go home.
You don't get to go home. That's right.
And we also we've got several bottles of disinfectant spray and some paper towels, so these heavy-duty kind of cloth towels almost that we're going to use to sanitize desktops and things in the faculty room, just things that need regular sanitation. We also have these big, heavy pieces of plexiglass.
Yeah, the plexiglass seems nice and sturdy like students. All right, we actually happen to have an actual student here, an example student, kind of a sample. Sample student, would you please sit in the chair here? Tell me your name.
Ellie.
Ellie. Ellie's here, so we're gonna practice through the plexiglass here. How does that feel?
Yes.
It's kind of different, isn't it? All right, we've tearing off most of the plastic here. That's pretty clear. That's a lot more personal than just a screen.
Yeah.
I like that. Wow, it feels good to sit across the table from an actual real life student.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. All right.
How does it
And I
look
can
at-
see you very well through here. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
How does it feel for you on the other side of the plexiglass?
It feels good. I thought it would be more foggy so I couldn't see you and couldn't connect with you, but it's better than I
yeah.
thought it would be. Yep.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. It really is. We can pass things back and forth here through this little window if we need to. But yeah, I feel the same way. It's a good connection. So Ellie, we've looked through the plexiglass and we've talked with masks on and you've been in a school. How are you feeling about the start of school coming up?
I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to interact with my friends again and see my teachers. So yeah.
Yeah, I think once we get back and start to experience that again, we'll realize even more just how much we missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is going to be great. Teachers are going to love working with their students face-to-face again through the plexiglass. They're going to enjoy that. And we also have these big gallon size of hand sanitizer. It's going to work well in the classroom, keeping things sanitized and kids going back and forth from recess and lunch and things, using that throughout the day.
Now that gallon of hand sanitizer, that's a lot of hand sanitizer right there.
It is. It's going to be interesting to see how long it lasts.
Well, I know that we sent out rubber bands as well to put around the top so that it doesn't go all the way down. You know, you push down sometimes on that pump
good.
and you get a whole pint of it there. Thank you very much for joining us, Patty.
All right, thank you.
I know we have thousands of these being distributed throughout the district, and some of our warehouse drivers have actually driven up to Ogden to pick some of them up directly from the warehouse to get them as quickly as we could. So we appreciate everyone's efforts getting these ready to go, and I know schools have been eager to receive these materials, and now that you have them, you can start to get those into classrooms. So thanks for everything you're doing, Patty.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Stacy Worthen will help talk us through how students and parents can request a class change before the start of school. Stay with us.
Are you looking for a job right now? Looking to work in a fun and supportive environment with great pay and a rewarding career? Jordan School District is hiring. We're currently filling full and part-time positions. You can work and make a difference in young lives and education as a classroom assistant or a substitute teacher. Apply to work in one of our school cafeterias, where our lunch staff serves up big smiles with great food every day. We're also looking to hire custodians and bus drivers. In Jordan School District, we like to say, people come for the job and enjoy the adventure. Apply today at workatjordan.org.
Welcome back to the Supercast. We're here now with Stacy Worthen, our secondary counselor specialist at the district level. And she's going to talk with us a little bit about how we can effectively help students return to school after they've been out for so long. This is about twice as long as any student has ever been out of school since they started. So there are going to be some adjustments, and it's going to be a little bit difficult. What are some things that we can do to help prepare students to return?
So what I would talk to your students about is that it is normal to feel anxious or stressed or a little uncomfortable about going back to school and what that's going to look like. Because when you say, this is the first time that we've ever gone back to school after being out of school for such a long time, we've never done it before, it's new and it's new for everyone, then you're normalizing it for your child. And that makes them feel much more prepared to be able to address those feelings of being anxious or uncomfortable or stressed. And so it's important for them to understand that teachers, counselors, and other students, as well as themselves, are going to be feeling uncomfortable and stressed because this is the first time that we've ever all experienced this. It's new. And so that's okay.
I've heard this theme as I've spoken with you and other experts in the district about validating concerns rather than dismissing them. And I've done that as a father as well, just tried to step back and say, there's a reason you feel this way, and it's okay for you to feel this way, and other people feel this way. But now let's talk about how you can manage that and deal with that, and you can do this, and you can overcome the feelings of anxiety or concern that you're having.
Right, because once you normalize it, then you can say, okay, this is the first time we've ever experienced opening schools in a pandemic. We've never done this before, on both sides, as parents and as a school district.
Right.
And so once we normalize it and say, okay, this is going to be hard, because we've never done it before, then it empowers us to be able to go, okay, now we can go through these really hard times. We have the strength to do it. We know that it's going to be hard, it's going to be uncomfortable, and it might take more resources, more time, more emotional resource than we've ever put into this before, and that's going to be hard. But we are now empowered to be able to move forward. And so when you're telling your children, yeah, like this is going to be harder than you've ever experienced before, but now you have the power to move forward and start working towards, now we can find the solutions, we can find the resources, and we can start making those steps. Now in 3 months we might say, oh, that worked really well, that didn't, and so now we have new ideas and new resources, and we're going to continue to move forward. And then when we get to the other side, then we say, you know what? You did really hard things and you were successful, and we're really proud of you. And, now we know what we know, so we can move forward because we've been able to do those hard things.
Yes, and just, it's a very different feeling to say, I feel this way and other people feel this way, and it's okay that I feel this way. Mm-hmm. And now I can address it and try to solve it, as opposed to, why do I feel this way? What's wrong with me that I feel this way? Everyone else is handling this, and I'm stressed and upset.
Right.
What are some tips, especially for parents, just as they are thinking about how to prepare themselves for the changes that come with sending kids back to school and the worry that may be associated with that?
Well, the tips that we always give are first and foremost, take care of yourself. Because when you are well rested, you've gotten some exercise, you're eating right, then you can be the best parent that you can be to address the issues that your children are experiencing. Then you need to do the same for your children. You need to talk to them about their stresses and their concerns. Keep that open line of communication, because they are going to be scared and nervous, and that's normal. Everybody is experiencing that. But also make sure that they're doing all the things to take care of themselves as well. Physically active, that you're controlling their screen time, and they're getting some really good sleep. All of those things are going to help. And then you can go ahead and move forward, and next week you can communicate with the school, because that's when our counselors are going to really know how can they best work with these kids to do what they do best to help them be successful at school. Communicate with your counselor, talk about your students' needs, and then figure out what is going to work best for your child, and then move forward and let them know this is going to be hard, but they can do it.
Yeah, and that's the other part of it. It's hard, it's okay to feel this way, but you can do it, and there's a lot of support, and the fact that we're all in it together makes a big difference. A couple of things. I have done a terrible job with screen time. The screen time limits have just vaporized, as has the bedtime, and I know that a routine is important, and we have a routine. It just involves a lot of screen time and going to bed pretty late.
Right.
And so we're going to have to ramp up just like you talked about. But thinking about that now, I think will help prepare us for that. So that's great advice.
Yeah,
The-
we're
the-
doing the same thing at my house.
Yeah.
Because my son, I'm like, okay, dude, you can't sleep, you can't be up till midnight and then expect to get up for school. So
Right.
on Monday, he's already got a plan where he's going to set his alarm, practice getting up, and even if he's tired, he's going to get up and eat breakfast and kind of get back into that routine, and going to bed a little bit early. We bought some paddle boards to get out. I mean, you have to be a little creative with the times we're experiencing, right, with social distancing. So for us, we thought, okay, well, our kids like being outdoors, paddleboarding, so we've been doing a little bit more of that. I mean, as a family, you have to decide what is going to work best, but absolutely start your routine on Monday so the kids are ready to start school.
The paddleboarding, that sounds great. Now, you mentioned counselors. Counselors, of course, are a great resource. Time has taken on a different sort of quality these days. And school choices, or rather class choices that were made in April seem like they were made years ago.
Right.
And there may need to be some adjustments to a student's schedule. Will you talk parents through how best to approach at the middle school and at the high school level a request for course changes at the school, how to approach a counselor, how does that work for parents who may be seeking a class change for their student?
Sure. So when you are looking at a class change for your child, what you need to do is you need to contact the school counseling center. Probably you're going to call their secretary, and your best route is to schedule an appointment. Schedule an appointment so that they have time to be able to sit and meet with you and go through what the best options are. Because you're right, the scheduling has changed. The master schedule is going to be different than what it was in May. And so there may be some different teachers, there may be some different options, and that takes about 15 to 30 minutes of just sitting down with your counselor, talking about your students' needs, and then fitting those classes back into the schedule the best that they can do. Now, obviously, it might not be the perfect schedule. You might not be able to get exactly everything that you want, but they will facilitate meeting your child's needs to the best of their ability. And it will be the same if you're doing a partial schedule of in-person classes versus online. The school counselor will also do that as well.
But the bottom line is that if you want a class change, there's a window within which a student can do that by setting up an appointment with a counselor before the start of school.
Right, absolutely.
And counselors have contract days that go after school ends and before school starts to allow for exactly that.
That's right. And in fact, most of my teams have been back this week, and for sure they're going to be all back to work on Monday.
Okay, great. What other advice do you have for students or parents just as they look forward to starting school? What's kind of a frame of mind that can set them up for success?
I think that they just need to make sure that they know that they can do hard things. That even though that this isn't going to be what they have experienced in the past, that this is new, that they have the ability to be flexible and be kind to one another, and they're going to be just fine. And they're going to be able to come out the other side and be able to have new skills and new abilities that are going to be probably bigger and better than we can ever imagine,
Yeah.
because they've been successful going through this difficult time.
Yeah, I think your point about kindness is very important because we haven't been together in these circumstances. And when you're under stress and you're in a new circumstance, we're sometimes not at our best. And it's more difficult to be kind sometimes when we're not at our best. So we're going to be need to be very deliberate about focusing on being kind to one another as we return.
Right. Well, and just, let's try and find the best in each other and the situation and move forward the best that we can.
Now, beyond getting your schedule set up the way you'd like, counselors offer all kinds of support, social and emotional wellness, and just helping kids deal with, grapple with, and solve problems and issues that pop up.
Absolutely. They will still be working with all students on social, emotional wellness. They'll still be trying to run groups safely with the social distancing. They still will be coming in to classrooms and teaching lessons on anything to do with social, emotional, behavioral issues and supports. They're still going to be doing everything that they've done in the past to try and meet those needs of the kids. It's more than just academics. It's about the whole child for counselors. It's how can we make sure that everything within that child, social, emotional, behavioral, academic, is the best that it can possibly be, as well as giving them skills and giving them skills to be able to work through some of those stresses and anxieties that they're feeling.
There's a close relationship between social emotional wellness and academic learning. You can't learn academics unless you're feeling good enough to do that. But when you enjoy academic success, then it boosts your social emotional wellness. So there's a really close relationship between the two.
Absolutely, and we really want to make sure that all of that is working for that student so that they can develop and grow and be happy and experience all of that success that they can in a school setting.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Stacy, for joining us.
Yep.
And look forward to seeing you as we start a new school year.
Yeah.
All right. Stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, education is the most important thing you'll do today. We'll see you out there.